old age is my best asset. Let me introduce myself. I entered the Indian Civil Service in 1936, and I went to Cambridge for 2 years for my probation. But when I went to Cambridge and became an ICS probationer, now I understood that the chief thing in this period of interregnum or period of transition is first of all to realize that the old system is disintegrating and it will disintegrate. The second, how do you help in the creation of a new system, like the monasteries in Europe, or like the Sufi brotherhoods in the Islamic heartlands. And this, now fortunately, I got some opportunity. When I was in Comilla, Ayub Khan had just established his basic democracy. His idea was, he was Ayub Khan historically will have a very central position in this period of interregnum and transition. He had some good ideas, and that was that the administrative system should be decentralized, this urban bias should be done away with, power should be transferred to the rural people, the local councils should be empowered, and all those ideas. And he had some very good advisors. For economic development, he had the Harvard advisors. Now the Harvard economists, they were advising, they were the masters or gurus of economic development in Germany, in Japan, in India, in 1950. The USA was conducting rural development programs in 44 countries, and the Harvard economists were there. The same policies were being promoted in South Korea. And Ayub Khan's good point was that he completely accepted the Harvard Advisory Group's economic program, that you must remove all the controls, you must remove this urban bias, all this. So now the Harvard Advisory Group, the Ford Foundation, and the Michigan State University were behind the establishment of this rural academy in Comilla. People give me the credit for what was done in Comilla, but that is very wrong. I was, of course, I was a kind of figurehead. I was the director of the academy. But what the academy did, it was implementing in a small pilot area the recommendations of the Harvard economists. This is what was happening. It was being done very beautifully, even much more beautifully than Comilla. It was being done in Taiwan. Remember, I'm talking of the 1950s and the 1960s. In Taiwan, the JCRR, the Joint Commission for Reconstruction and Rehabilitation, it was performing wonderfully. That was one of my models. You see, again, just as in the 1960s, when I was working in East Pakistan, the priority problem was politically how to reconcile the Bengal, how to end their alienation. how to assimilate them in Pakistan. The second priority problem was how to develop the collapsing rural economy. You know, the average holding in Kumilla had come to 1.7 acres per family. How do you sustain an agricultural economy like this? These were the problems. When I came here, when I began this work, I tell you what the priorities now are. In this Pakistan, the priority problem is how do you assimilate this huge immigrant population. In Karachi alone, immigration is taking place at the rate of 6%. These are the KDA figures. 6% people. But if you go to Lahore, Faisalabad, or anywhere, you will see that this is the priority problem. The exodus from the rural areas. And it is becoming bigger and bigger every decade. In the next 30 or 40 years, the ratio will change, reverse, and instead of 30% people living in the urban areas and 70% in the rural areas, it would be 70% in the urban areas. Not only Karachi, but even Islamabad is suffering the same fate. This is the priority problem, and when they come, all your questions will be answered by this. You know, that the priority problem is, now what does this exodus mean? First, it means that the rural economy has collapsed. There is a push factor. There is something which is pushing these people. One, of course, is the 3% per annum increase in population. We are in a truly Malthusian situation. Second, the traditional methods of agriculture are no longer viable. I have now, for the last 3 or 4 years, I have started working in the rural areas too, and I see that in Sindh there is the arid zone and there is the irrigated zone. The economy of the arid zone has collapsed completely because they have cut down the forests, they have overgrazed the land, so it has changed the climate, rainfall has decreased, the land is all barren and it cannot sustain. So the only solution they see is to get educated. They are mad for establishing schools, and the reason for that is they want to get out of the village, and the best way of getting out of the village is to get a school education. That's the exit, the certificate you can now go. Or even if they are not educated, they come to the. So the migration really means the collapse of the rural economy. Their arrival in the city means all this, the Kalashnikov culture, this huge immigrant population is not absorbed, there is no scope for them. And at the same time there is a big spread of education, so you get this lower middle class people, half educated, and they cannot be absorbed. The economy is not expanding, while the rural economy has already collapsed, and the urban economy is flourishing somewhat, but it cannot absorb all these people. So they take up the economy. In the village, now that you are going to have this huge urban immigration, what is the way out? There are 4 basic problems in the Sikh Abadi: housing,